So smell and taste disorders. So Fifth Sense, we're the first charity, UK-based charity of people affected by smell and taste disorders. Just to quickly look at the bigger picture of that. So we're talking about olfactory loss. And I'm sure, many people in the room, it will be people like me, acquired olfactory loss, acquired anosmia or hyposmia. But then there are qualitative disturbances as well. Distortions of the sense of smell often accompany post-viral olfactory loss, and then phantosmia, phantom smells. A much smaller number of people are born without a sense of smell, and then taste-specific disorders, which again are quite rare. So Fifth Sense, we're here to represent the full sort of gamut, if you like. Prevalence. I was talking to Beverly about this earlier on, and it's a bit of a difficult one because there are no hard and fast figures at all. Based on certain studies, the figure we quote is potentially around 5% of the population have some degree of impaired olfactory function. But then if you start looking at people who suffer smell loss as a result of the aging process, you may be looking at more like 20 to 25%. There are really no reliable hard and fast figures. True disorders of the sense of taste are actually quite rare, but many people think that they lose the sense of taste with the sense of smell because obviously the sense of smell plays such a huge role in the perception of flavour. Going back to my experience, well, one of the things I started to learn was how smell affects us, and it plays a huge role in our, the way we feel about things. Sight and hearing, the way I like to describe it, sight and hearing allow us to experience the world in a functional way. Smell enables us to experience the world in a much more emotional way. So smell plays a really big role in our mood, our memories, and our emotions. There's a really good line here from a lady called Rachel Hertz, who I'm sure some of the scientists in the room we're familiar with. Our sense of smell is integrally tied to our emotions, our memories, our behaviours, and our health. Scents influence our social relationships and family ties, and they fuel our passions for people and food. That statement is backed up by the experiences of the people we represent. So in 2013, we commenced a survey of our members to establish the quality of life impact of olfactory disorders. And a paper based on this was published in the Chemical Senses Journal in 2014. And from that survey, which generated, well, it's still taking responses. The paper was based on 496 responses. I think we've now had over 1,000. 92%, perhaps unsurprisingly, of people say their enjoyment of food and drink has been reduced. 85% say they fear exposure to dangers such as gas, spoiled foods. 61% have experienced depression and anxiety. 54% say the relationships with families and friends have been affected, which, certainly one of the things that I found is that, it can be and I'm sure some of the people in this room will agree with, it can be a really isolating experience when your doctor doesn't know anything about it and doesn't really have much interest in trying to help you. When family, friends, even partners don't really understand, because it's an incredibly difficult thing to get over to someone else, just what it's like to suffer an impairment of your sense of smell and taste.